What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to Double Trouble, or should I call it Single Trouble right now, as Jeremy is still, he's not on here yet, but he will be joining us. And as Sooner fans said in the chat, let me see if I can find it, death, taxes, and Jeremy at Walmart parking lot on Tuesday nights. That's right, Sooner fan. That is right. Man, you guys got started early tonight on this. Over under 5 minutes into the show, Jeremy gets fired up. I'm going to say under. Okie Lawn Guy, and I can make that happen if you want me to. I can make it happen very quickly. Oh, sorry, Mark. Interrupted your chat you had going on. I know, right? Hey, welcome to this Tuesday night Double Trouble. Saw some basketball comments on here. BYU in a stunner beats Kansas and Lawrence. And by the way, how the heck is Kansas still ranked number 7? I mean, they have not fallen out of the top 10. They lose a game every week. They're 9-6 in the conference. They're not the 7th best team in the nation. Sorry, it's not. I know it's brand name Hunter, but they're not having a good year, okay? And Iowa State and Houston, to me, are elite in the conference, and OU's got them both this week. It's going to be a brutal, brutal test this week for Oklahoma basketball. If they split, it's a tremendous week. If somehow you could split this week, it'd be huge. Yes, Kansas lost to BYU at home after the BYU coach got a technical foul. They still lost. So unbelievable. Yeah. And then Texas is just absolutely woodshedding Texas Tech tonight on the road. And for the ones that I think Hunter was running, and Jeremy's one and thinks Texas is just awful in basketball, they're very talented. If they get going, I wouldn't want to play them. I'll tell you that right now. OU plays them last game of the year. Bobby says, I don't know if I missed it. Anyone ever mentioned Eric Bieniemy as new OC at UCLA? Probably only there a year, but makes him a little more interesting to watch. No one has mentioned that, and I think that's very wild. I do not understand it, Bobby. I'm very confused by it. I'm also very confused how that guy has never got a head coaching job. I don't understand it. It's probably one of the most baffling things to me at all. I just don't get it. I'd hire him as a head coach at UCLA. That's what I don't understand. I think he's probably got a good relationship with Foster there. Yeah, want OU to go 2-0 this week. Realistic OU will go into. That's right. It's a very odd combo, UCLA. Very odd. I will fire Jeremy up. Don't worry about it, Okie Long Guy. If not, I'm sure you will, or Eric, or maybe somebody else. Okie Long Guy. Jeremy's been fired up in the Discord all day long. Him and Eric. And I've been so busy at work. Right now is my busy season and trying to get on there as much as I can. But Jeremy and Hunter are on there, really firing it up with Eric today. Some good conversation. Chances of winning. Where is it up here? I saw Chief Tebow. Chance of winning one of the next 2 games is less than 1%. I don't know about that, but it's very slim. I would think, Iowa State on the roads, Iowa State, them and Houston are the top dogs, and Iowa State may be, they are maybe just a little bit behind Houston. They're definitely very good, the top 2 defensive teams in the league. Ron, I am not a teacher. No, I am not a teacher. Lori, just tell Jeremy that DJ will go to New York over Jackson Arnold. That will get him fired up. Oh, yeah, it doesn't take much. Just mention the word Dylan Gabriel, Jalil Farouk, and Jeremy will go off his mind and lose it. Or, dare I say, Otega away. That might be one to get him. Or Porter Moser, actually. Porter Moser. Yeah, retail sales. So it's a busy time for me with spring season. How's everything going tonight? How's everybody doing? I want y'all's thoughts. Realistic. We've had conversation after conversation after conversation on here about the SEC in year 1. And we've had people say 8-4 for OU's record. We've had people say 9-3, 10-2. Is there anybody, and I'm serious, I know there's a few of you on here, but if it's you, I want you to either raise your hand on this chat or clap or whatever and say you agree with this. Who on here would be satisfied with 8-4? There's some of you that would. There's some of you, I know some of you that have put stuff in this comments over the last 2 weeks about 8-4. Hey, that'll be okay. How many of you would be satisfied with 8-4 year? That's correct, Lori. I do have the longer face. Hopefully nobody. Hey, Okie Lawn, you say no way satisfied, but weren't you on here the other day talking about 8-4 realistic, and that you'd be okay with it? And I knew Dalpost was one of them because Dalpost has been on this for a while. I'd live with it. I don't know if I'd be satisfied. Maybe that's the term. I'd live with it. And that's right, Sooner fan. To me, if any Oklahoma fan is okay with an 8-4 season, I question the passion and the fandom. Okay. Maybe it's like some of the basketball fans, if that's the case, that is okay with just making the NCAA tournament. Daniel, I can grow a beard. Listen, Jeremy's been growing that beard since he was 18, guys. I mean, really, it's not that something he grew overnight, okay? Richard, what 4 games did we lose? I don't think we do. I say we 9-3. Now, Eric, if Eric's on here, I'm sure he's pretty for sure they're going to be 8-4. I believe, if I'm not wrong. I'd be okay with 15-02, man. I would too. Yes, Sooner fan, 8-4. The heat would be on BV. It would be on BV. It'd be disappointing, Bobby says. Unlimited member Bobby says 8-4 would be disappointing. And, people can come at us. I mean, the Surgeaholics here, bring it on. People can come at you guys. Surgeaholics, Surgemaniacs, whatever you want to call yourselves. They can come at you and say, you guys are just unrealistic if you think 8-4 is a bad year and BV should be on the hot seat. It's Oklahoma, right, guys? 8-4 is not going to cut it. OU next year needs to be 9-3. I know the schedule's tough. Got to be 9-3 in my. You got to be 9-3. Chief Keeper said 11-10-2. Our SEC schedule is full of teams that are losing a lot. That's true. Surgeaholics, whatever. I don't know what y'all want to be called. Hey, 8-4 is fair, but not bad. Okay, let's get to this. Dalpost asked a great question. Is 8-4 fireable? I would say 8-4 next year, he will not be fired. I would say 8-4 in back-to-back years and missing the playoffs, I would say maybe so. I know that's hard to believe. Yeah, Hunter says scorching hot seat. It's just, guys, it's Oklahoma, man. Listen, and Mark, let me get to this. I am totally in disagreement of this, and I may be one of the few on here. I don't know if other people agree with you, Mark, but I cannot stand the whole, if we beat Texas and lose 2 other games, I'm happy. I could give a flip. I mean, yes, I want to beat Texas, but if that means you lose 2 games and you beat Texas by 14, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that. Mark, were you happy last year that OU beat Texas and they lost to Kansas and OSU? Surely not. I would have rather beat Kansas and OSU and lost to Texas. OU'd have been in the playoff. So, I mean, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Blake says 8-4 is fireable for weren't switching conferences. Fair. I mean, making the playoff is better than beating your rival. Correct, Sooner fan. Okay. This is a great point, and he says, I only think you should fire a coach when you know his replacement will be a better coach. That's a great point. But how do you know that, though? How do you know that? Nobody knows. You don't know who you're hiring. Listen, I've hired so many people in jobs that I thought were going to be outstanding, and they didn't turn out to be very good. I've hired some that I thought were going to be great, and they were great. I don't think you truly know most of the time. Now, there are probably a handful of coaches that you're getting a stud, okay? But it's not always the case. USC knew. There you go. Zach Selman knew. And by the way, let me say something. Let me get something off my chest that I saw today. It was Jeff Lebby, okay? It was Jeff Lebby doing a training deal with Mississippi State football. And basically they were saying who didn't get to their time, who didn't finish their time. He was disciplining guys and talking about it. It was all for the camera. I get tired of these videos that are just for the camera. Like, what? I mean, that wasn't even true. That was all put on for a show for the camera. That's all that was. Why does that need to be on video for everybody to see? Because it was orchestrated. That's what it was. It was orchestrated. I could really care less on that. I mean, that's ridiculous. Curious as to what proven winner chat would want. Completely hypothetical. Yeah, that's a great question, Hunter. Other than BV, who would you say? How does OU do in a more physical conference? We're going to find out very soon, Sooner Cowboy. We're going to find out very soon. Okay. I think they're more ready this year with what they had coming in 24, but all those guys are young. That's the only problem. They're very young and very untested. And that would be my concern. It's not like you've had these guys for a year or two. They really needed that 24 class that they got on the defensive line in 23. That's what they needed to have happen. Daniel says, OU will step up to the challenge. Kip Lewis, I'm all for Kip Lewis, man. All for it. Buying some talent now. Out physicaled by Kansas, so who knows? That's true. I mean, do you remember that game? They kind of got it handed to him there for a little bit. And Mars Jam, this is a great point. They are physical at times, like very physical. I mean, go back to that Texas game last year. OU and Texas, OU was very physical in that Texas game. But then you go Kansas, and you're like, is this the same team? It doesn't look like it. So to me, that's probably the biggest issue going into next year's consistency. I don't think the consistency's been there since maybe some type in Bob Stoops. I mean, even under Lincoln Riley, they would throw out just a clunker of a game every once in a while. And you know what? You can throw clunkers if you win the game, but you can't go throw clunkers and not win. Let me see here. Mark, thanks for joining us, Mark. I think it's going to be hard for anyone in the big conference to go 10-2. I really think 9-3 is going to be reality for most good teams. Hey, I got to say something I watched the other day from another podcast that said 3 teams from the SEC will be in the playoff next year. 3 guys. Does anybody understand that type of a take that 3 teams are going to be in the? I mean, where are you going to get the other teams at if you don't get them from the SEC and the Big Ten? I mean, come on, 3 teams. Like, come on, what are we doing here? The SEC's getting 5. Hey, at least 4. At least 4, Blake. Yeah, there you go. I see that. Okay, listen, Tyler. You're right. We were, but yes, it's a slim line. I mean, you lose those games and you didn't even make a New Year's Six bowl. Okay. So yes, it's a fine line, but they lost those games. And by the way, that's 7 losses under Brent Venables in the first 2 years. And a lot of those games were by less than a touchdown. So it's a slim margin, but that just because you lose by 3 or 4, you still lost the game. You lost the game. Maybe at some point that has to come back though on the coach, does it not? It has to. If OU's not putting in 9-3, making the playoff seasons, there will be a hot seat. Unfortunately, I love Brent Venables, but that will happen if that's the case. Chief, this is a great question, one that I've been trying to dig into, and I don't even know. Hunter might know if it's official. I haven't heard anything official about it yet. I know they were working on it. I don't know if it's official yet. I may be wrong. Oh man, guys, if somebody, man, that would be amazing if somebody did that. Oh my gosh, that would be epic, Lori. And by the way, please hit the like button on here. Appreciate it. It would help the channel big time. Tyler, you're saying it seems wild that he would be on the hot seat if he throws out 2 8-4 seasons. Is that right? Is that what you're saying? Who else on here thinks 2 8-4 seasons, 2 8-4 seasons would not put him on the hot seat? Keaton, what's up, bud? How are you tonight? Yeah, how about them Sooners getting the L on OSU? That's right. Did you see where Javian McCollum made shirts that said "Silence in Stillwater" and had a shot on there? Did anybody see that? Somebody told me that today. No tiebreaker yet. Okay, Bobby, hear me out on this. Okay, I like Josh Heupel. Josh Heupel, in my opinion, will never win a national championship. Okay, that's my opinion. I don't think Josh Heupel has a defensive mindset to win a national championship. I mean, go look at the national champions. How many in the last 10 years were offensive-minded coaches? Somebody drop it in the chat. Last 10 years, how many national champions had an offensive-minded head coach? I'll wait. What's up, Crystal? How are you tonight? Appreciate you joining us. Appreciate it, Crystal. She's saying she'd be more than happy with an 8-4 the first season. Who already won one? Okay, I see what you did there, Richard. He won a national championship as a quarterback. I'm saying as a coach. I've yet to see it in the chat. Somebody drop a name of an offensive-minded head coach that's won a national championship. Because I got one name for you, and I would say that's Dabo Swinney. Hey, Josh is a good coach. Stubby, I think he's a really good coach. I don't think he won a national championship. That's fine to say. He'll make a playoff. I agree with that. He'll make the playoff. I don't think you can win a national championship without a defense. And I don't think their defense will ever be great under Josh Heupel. Yes, I think OU's defense could be really good under Brent Venables, but I haven't seen it yet. I've seen him take a little bit of stride. I haven't seen him take a massive jump yet. And you have to do that if you want to make a playoff in the SEC or win a national championship for sure. 8-4, BV might be coordinator. 9-3 keeps forward. I just think 10-2 is going to be rare in this conference. I agree. 9-3, I think, and to me, it's not even about just the record. It is about making the playoff too. I mean, that's part of it too. What's up, Jeremy? Joining us tonight?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can. Which Walmart you at tonight, bro?
I'm almost to the Walmart. I'm pulling in at the one I'm always at, Jay, and it's freaking cold out, man.
Lori's sending somebody your way to scare you.
Yeah, right. She doesn't know which Walmart I'm at.
She knows, bro.
What's on the convo tonight, Surge Maniacs?
Stuff on the convo tonight, talking about BV. If he ran 2 8-4 seasons out, would he be on the hot seat?
He's out.
Hey, and
2 8-4s, Jay. He's not.
Hey, Chief
Not a
T-Bird.
playoff.
Listen, first off, you'd be absolutely ridiculous if you think Dan Lanning would leave Oregon and go to Oklahoma. First off, that's number one. Second off, Beamer's not a great coach. Okay? Beamer's on the hot seat at South Carolina. Beamer's not ready, I don't think, for SEC football as a head coach. He didn't have a head coaching experience just like Brent Venables did it before coming to Oklahoma. I don't think Beamer would be a good replacement at all if that happened. At all. Zero chance.
First off, how does Lori know my exact location? Second of all, Crystal, that's actually the exact reason everyone wanted BV. And you're right.
And Crystal's right.
No.
Is that not what Eric's been arguing with you about in the chat for the last 24 hours?
Arguing me about what?
About he's saying the defense hasn't taken a step forward. You're
go back and watch
with Crystal.
Go back and watch every video I've done. I said if Brent Venables doesn't make the playoff, his first 2 years in the SEC, he's done as coach, Jay.
Hey, Okie Lawn, great question. I'm going with Brent Venables. And let me say this in the kindest way possible. OU men's basketball may never, ever, ever win an Natty. Is that fair?
Jay, the conversation I was having earlier was about, look, if OU consistently makes the playoff under BV, he'll be here. They're not getting it. Now, you got to put yourself in position, in contention, and then win one every now and then. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say to that, Jay.
Hey, I know, but Okie Long Guy, the reason I say ever is we could get into a whole rant on this, and I would, but maybe basketball is not the time to talk tonight, but I don't think they have fan support to win a national championship. So that's my opinion. I don't think they ever will have fan support to win a national championship. So,
well, newsflash, Jay, fans don't win titles.
Jeremy, basketball, NIL, all that. OU's a football monster, dude. Period. It's not going to change, is it?
Is it? I'm just saying fans don't win national titles, Jay.
I know, but it helps all of it. It helps recruiting. It helps all of it. Yep, under 5 minutes. Didn't take long, did it, Okie?
Under 5 minutes for what?
Get you to start screaming like a maniac.
Okay. I've been pretty civilized. I don't know what all you've been talking about on the chat tonight, Jay.
OU would have won a title under, can you hear me now? Now, okay, you're not wrong there. Kelvin Sampson had him there. They were right there to win it. So I'm not going to say ever. I just think it's hard for me to, right now, watching OU's basketball team over the last, I don't know, 8-9 years, other than the Buddy Hield years, they haven't had a chance to even make a Final Four. So I'm just right now, and we'll see. You could get hot. I just think it's hard to win a national championship. You get hot, make the Final Four, make a run. But even under Kelvin Sampson that year, when they made the Final Four, they kind of got handed to them, did they not, by Indiana?
Jay, there's a difference in Porter Moser teams and Kelvin Sampson teams. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Even Lon Kruger. Porter Moser's team, outside a guy like Rivaldo Soares, I don't see a lot of people, and maybe it's the new generation of NIL, but they don't seem to be all in.
I don't know. I think it's a whole different ball game these times. Thanks, Crystal, so much for the super. Appreciate you so much. She says, does OU rank in the top 10 for available NIL budget? If not, expecting big outcomes may not be plausible.
It depends.
I do think they're top 10.
Depends who you ask, Jay.
It does depend on who you ask. But
does OU want more money? If so, they're going to say they're not in the top 10. Man, a lot of people agreeing with me, Jay.
Agreeing with you on what? And Kelvin Sampson, an elite coach, guys. Agreeing with you on what?
I don't know. Probably the fact that the passion isn't there.
Crystal, do you think they're top 10 NIL? I 100% think if you look at their total team payout, they're in the top 10 for sure.
They just do it a different way.
They do it a different way. That's right.
Jay, if BV is not in the playoff by 2025, he's done, correct?
That would be 4 years at Oklahoma.
4 years not in the top 25. I mean, not in the top 12.
I'm with you. I mean, unfortunately, I think, why do you keep looking in your rearview mirror?
It's the wind is howling tonight, dude.
You're getting scared, aren't you?
No, the wind is howling.
You're a scaredy cat, dude. You're paranoid. Yeah, he's paranoid. He's like,
it's the license plate. Something's fluttering in the back, fluttering.
It's Sooner fan said earlier, death, taxes, and Jeremy at Walmart on a Tuesday night. Also, Jeremy paranoid on a Tuesday night in his car.
Hey, I don't have to be on here. I can just drive home, but I spend an hour with you guys.
Hey,
Jay.
That's true,
Okie Long. It's Porter Moser's fault.
Yeah, they have not gotten a big, man. They have not.
It's Porter Moser's fault.
All right, let's just do this. I know we threw it out there as a hypothetical. Who would be available at head football coach in the next year? Listen, I hate to speculate names like that, but what's up, Chester?
Thanks, Chester. Chester just asked. Chester just has a recommendation for bandwagon fans to leave.
Who's a bandwagon fan?
Don't know.
The ones that think BV should what? I mean, hey, Stubby, this is where I would kind of disagree, though. I think Porter's done pretty decent in recruiting. I think and you know me, Jeremy. I'm a Porter fan, okay, and you know it. And man, if you stop looking, what is your deal? You are so freaked out right now. Your eyes. Hey, Chester's on here every night. Appreciate Chester. Hey, what was I saying about Porter? Porter's recruited pretty well. Milos Uzan, Otego Away were top players, top 100. Same with Jacob Cole and Caden Cooper. And then Forsyth for next year. That's pretty good recruiting, is it not?
Yeah, there's some in there. Caden Cooper can't find the floor. Tell me how that happens.
Freshman, dude.
I don't give a rip. Freshman in basketball is different than football.
Keaton, I agree with you. I think he will do really good in the SEC if they keep him, Porter. I do.
Porter, as Ron Brown says, Porter doesn't want to be in Norman, Jay.
Hey, Jeremy, who would you think they would go get as OU? Who would you think they would go get that would be better than Porter Moser as a coach?
There's a lot.
Who? Give me one.
Jay Wright's 10 times better.
Oh my! Whoa! I'm leaving the live right now. I'm getting off here. Bye.
Cool. I'll tell you one who's better, and you don't want to hear it, Jay. Grant McCaslin's better.
In what way?
He's a better coach.
What's their record in the Big 12 right now?
I don't know. They let it
They're
happen.
just getting beat by 40 right now to Texas, by the way.
Who is Tech?
At home. Yeah.
Okay.
They're 8-7 now in the league, bud. Pretty much the same as OU.
Fine. Then Jay, keep Porter Moser. You love him. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, I'm asking for names, and you're saying a guy that's been retired for 2 years that's not coaching basketball anymore.
I'm going to go off.
While we're at it, Bill Belichick to Oklahoma if BV gets fired. Bill Belichick right now.
Okay, while we're at it.
Jeez. Bill Belichick, come on down to Norman, bud. I'm going to
go on a little Jack Nicholson here from Few Good Men. Have I studied the world of college basketball landscape? No.
Hey, modern day. Apparently Jeremy thinks Bill Belichick, maybe.
Am I okay with Porter? Am I okay, Jay, with the OU basketball program not making the NCAA tournament? No. Have I studied the landscape of college basketball coaches to see who an up-and-comer might be to come to OU? No. While I may not understand those things, I do know that Porter Moser should not be the coach at Oklahoma. There's my Jack Nicholson rant from Few Good Men. Do you like it?
Jeremy, when Porter Moser stepped feet onto campus, you haven't wanted him. So, and by the way, Jay Wright, I don't know what it is. If you have, I don't know what the fascination, whatever the word is for your love for Jay Wright, but it seems like for the last 2 to 3 years since that guy retired, you've been wanting him in Norman. It's like, why do you think he's going to start coaching again?
You never know when people start coaching again, Jay. Hey, did I do a good Jack Nicholson?
No.
Oh, I thought that was great. Surgeon Maniacs, what'd you think there? Jay, are you okay with the complete staff change if BV goes? No, I'm not okay with it, but if you can't be a top 12, 13 program in America in 4 years at OU, you make a change.
Hey, by the way,
it's not going to happen. They're making the playoff.
Mark, don't get this confused, please. Nobody on here is saying fire BV right now. This was a hypothetical 2 years from now.
Jay,
okay?
I just said it, Jay. He's going to win.
Chester, you're right on this. I think
Chester.
People are underestimating what OU was left with. And you can throw names out. Well, they had blah, blah, blah. They had these guys. They did have Benito. That was under Lincoln Riley. Some of those guys would have came back the next year under. It was the way Riley left. Some of them just said, I'm done. They left.
Jay, I've gone on record almost nightly to think that BV's getting in the playoffs the next 2 years. I've said it. I think BV is the guy.
Yeah, I'm not bashing BV at all.
First off, the way he does things is the right way. Second of all, he has stacked recruiting, class. Yeah. You have that.
Hey, Nelson.
The improvement on defense was big. They made improvements.
Yeah, Nelson, thanks for joining tonight. Appreciate you. Great question.
Did you see Stone and Terry? Come on, they're winning.
Is Vegas wrong with having Texas going 10.5 wins for the game next year, and they have OU at 7.5? listen, Texas, I honestly think 10.5. I would put it more at 9.5, and I think I would have done OU at 8.5.
I would have done.
I think that's the better range. 8.5 and 9.
Better. Jay, I agree, and Mark, I agree with you. Now
I agree with that too, Mark. I agree.
CW, we are making the playoffs this year, and Jay, one of the reasons I think 7.5 was the number. 2 reasons: SEC. Second reason, I think everyone thinks Dylan Gabriel may have been better than he actually. Again, I'm not going to get on that again, but they lost Gabriel, and people, I think, are putting a lot of stock in that. And the new coaching changes. Hey, what is patient though? I've been patient with BV, but 4 years.
No, listen, you can be patient and also expect a playoff. Yes. Because right now, Hunter, if you're still on there, drop a poll. I want to know of the people on here right now who thinks OU will be in the playoff this year. Hey, 405 boy, real quick. You're right, 100%. Okay? And I don't want to get on the soapbox here about the basketball fans, but I watched the live with Hunter and Jeremy the other night on it, and I disagreed with a lot of what they were saying about OU basketball fans. I just don't think OU basketball fans, I mean, to hear the comments like, well, they had a chance. They played Texas and Texas Tech at home, and they didn't show up. They lost. Why would I go support that? That's not a fan. That's not a passionate fan at all. So if that's what most of the fans are thinking, it's not good. It's not good, passionate basketball fans. So, let me. Stubby says, I'm a pessimist and see the season going 8-4 and losing close games to good team. And that would be, here's my thing about that, Stubby. That could happen very well. You're right, 8-4 and losing close games. But if that happens to me, that's another year of doing the same thing that you just did the last 2 years.
Yeah. Now, I don't see 4 losses, but
that's
obviously
a good point.
they could. Obviously, they could lose 4 games, Jay. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Any team can. It's a tough schedule.
Yeah, Ole Miss is a game to watch.
I would switch Ole Miss and Bama, Keaton Galactidon. I love that last name. I would switch Ole Miss and Bama. I think Bama at home is more winnable than maybe Ole Miss on the road at this point.
Mark says he sees about 6.
Mark sees 6 losses.
Okay, Brian Bald Eagle says, give us a chance to be passionate. It's been a Christmas minute since OU basketball has been consistent. I agree with that. I'm not saying that, but how many of you guys that are on this chat about football right now, if they lay an egg at home, are not going to show up the next week? How many of you? All of you would show up. Why? What's the difference, Jeremy? I'm asking you.
What do you mean, what's the difference?
What's the difference?
Football is a monster at OU, Jay. You know that.
But
basketball's not.
Also, and it never will be, ever. It doesn't matter
Jay,
if they're good.
Jay, tell me right now.
Jeremy, does it matter if they're good or not?
Yes, it does.
No, because listen, I think this
year
the crowds this year have been better than they've had.
Jay,
and it's still not very good.
Softball's better than OU basketball. Crowds.
Jeremy,
win.
It doesn't matter. You can win in basketball. They're not going to show up like they do in other sports, Jeremy.
If they made it to the Final Four 2 or 3 years in a row,
I went to the year they went in the Final Four. I went to about 8 games.
And they were good crowds that year.
They were pretty good crowds. Not during the week, they weren't. You'd have a Saturday afternoon, not a great crowd.
Eric's back. Eric says, why does OU need 4 years to make the top 12? You can't keep talking about Jackson Arnold in the recruiting class and say give them 4 years. 4 years is adequate. He just got Jackson Arnold in year 2. Okay?
Hey, so
4 years. I've said give him 4 years.
Hey,
okay?
Let me prove a point real quick, and I'm gonna get off this after I prove this point. Guys, Jeremy, you're going to the game Saturday against Houston.
Yes, my
And
son's dancing.
listen, I imagine the crowd will be electric. They're going to, and a lot of them will be there because they want to watch Kelvin Sampson again. Okay. Whatever. It'll be electric. I promise you, I would shave my head. Okay. I will. If they beat Houston, who's going to be there on Tuesday or Wednesday night when they play Cincinnati? Won't be a great crowd.
It'll be a good crowd. They've had really good crowds some this year.
No, it wouldn't be. Jeremy, it wouldn't be. If
Okay,
they play
whatever.
at 6
I don't want to sit here and talk about OU basketball crowds.
Okay,
Please.
I'm just saying.
Bore me. Bore me some more with it, Jay. People sit on their hands. And frankly, hey, you can say all you want about OU basketball crowds. I'm about to make some people really upset right now, Jay.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I am. Go to the football games. It's not electric. It's sold out every football game. It's the most nauseating, unelectric atmosphere, unless it's a night game and a huge opponent. People are sitting on their hands. They get mad if you stand up. It's ridiculous. They better grow up and go to the SEC and get their game right.
Hey.
Am I wrong with that, Jay?
I mean, there's parts of the crowd I think that aren't as good.
Tea Party.
And there it is. And Stubby, you're right. They show up when they're good, but not only that, they show up when there's a good game. They're not going to show up to a weeknight game against Cincinnati. I don't care if you're number 5 ranked team in the nation.
Crystal, look, you got most of that right. Germ is telling the truth right now. Germ is telling the truth always, right, Jay?
That's a bunch of BS, dude, and you know it.
Okay. Mark, who do you want? You said about basketball, Jay.
What?
Look, BV's going to get it done. That's all there is to it, guys. Facts.
I agree. Hey, and I'll say this: I have been
disappointment.
I have been told to sit down at a football game, which is ridiculous.
Yep. I agree, Cracker Mac. 11 a.m. It's tough. There'll only be 2 11 a.m. games this year. Hopefully, only one at home.
How do we fix the crowd this year? Are you talking about football? Well,
Dalfo's 83. If you're talking football, one more night. I tell you one way. I think going to the SEC fixes it a little, but night games are better. I like what they did with the lights, but
let me say something. A way to fix it.
Some chanting, something besides Boomer Sooner.
Let me say something that would.
I love Boomer Sooner, Jay, but there's got to be other chants going on.
No, let me say something that'll fix it. I think OU fans have gotten very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very laxed, very,
they think they're OU. They don't have to be loud, Jay.
Because it's the Big 12 and they've seen all these teams and they think they could just show up and walk all over all these teams. It's not happening in the SEC. And by the way, I think OU will get pretty aware of it when they go to road games. When OU fans go to LSU, they're going to see it. They're going to see it, okay?
Stubby.
So I think maybe that'll be something to be like, well, it's got to be
I
better.
like what Keaton says, Jay.
And listen, people will say, you know what people argue with it? They'll say, well, they sell out every game. I'm not talking about sell it. It's the atmosphere. It is a great atmosphere, but it could be louder. I think it could be louder.
Jay, how was the game at McCaslin this year? Great.
I agree with whole fixing. I would love to see McCaslin used more.
Hey, Keaton. Yeah, I think that's something right there needs to happen every game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Implemented every game. Tradition.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? You know what my thought is about 11 a.m. games? What's thought is, if you're going to do 11 a.m. game, I know it doesn't help for the people that are traveling, but do something like overnight or something. You could have people down there already getting pumped. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what.
Hey,
they've already.
I'm not like most 40-year-olds. I promise. I'm a man. I'm 46, and I scream all day long. Okay, that's who I am, and other 40+ people can do it too.
Well, the tailgating's got to be better. The atmosphere at the game's got to be better. Here's what I'll say, and maybe it's just because I'm an OU fan and I'm used to watching it, and but even to me, sometimes when they play night games, if it's all dependent on how the team's doing. And listen, I know, Jeremy, you know who I'm talking about. I know at least 3 or 4 people that when I argue this point, they say, give me something to cheer about. Stop waving your hands at me. Give me something to cheer about. Well, how about, in that part of the fan thing is to get the team going too? Like, I think a lot of OU fans, especially in, well, football and basketball, think, well, until they do something good, I'm not going to cheer. I mean, that's the lousy excuse, dude.
No, Jay,
No,
player
that's
who never
lousy.
plays, a player who never plays on the field, he's a sideline guy, should not have to tell the fans to stand up on 4th and 1. Sorry.
No, and never do this. Never get cowbells or anything. That's lame. That's lame.
Jay, this is, guys, I'm not calling anyone out on this chat, but part of the issue, Jay, is people don't understand the game. When it's for, look, I go to student section games all the time at high school. Why are student sections cheering, being really loud when their team has the ball? Like, do you understand the sport? That's where it starts.
Yeah, but
Jeremy,
you're talking about a high school when a student section, listen to me, a student section, they're there to socialize and to wear whatever theme night it is. If it's Hawaiian, they're wearing theme night, okay?
And there's a lot of,
they're there, dude. They're there that way. They're not there for the game, Jeremy.
They're
not there for the game.
There's a lot of golly, stop interrupting.
You know what? I did that on purpose because every time I talk, you want to get in so bad to say something, you start turning your head and it makes you mad.
Jay, there's a lot of people that go on Saturday, Jay, to Norman, Oklahoma. I'm not talking students, I'm talking adults. They go to Norman, Oklahoma. It's an experience. It's not about being hyped. It's not about trying to cheer their team to victory. It's an experience. It's what they do on a Saturday. Okay? That's my point.
Are you saying
wrong.
OU crowd is that way?
A lot of OU fans are that way, Jay. It's an experience. It's what they've done for years. Do you agree with that, Jay? It's a full day. It's an all-day affair. You go do this, you do this, and yeah, if they win, they win. But man, it's about the experience. There's a lot that's what it's about, Jay.
And
I get that too. I get that side of it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could go. I mean,
make it a good, fun family thing. I get it.
But some families, it is an experience. And that's
right. I've been there.
What?
Jen's right. I've been there on Friday night.
At Texas A&M?
Yes, I went to the OU A&M game.
Well, and
Paul Thompson and Alan Patrick led us to victory.
And here's what you can say about Texas A&M. They have awesome crowds, and their teams aren't winning. So what's it matter? I guess, right? That's what you're saying.
Well, no. I mean, I'd like to have the best atmosphere as possible.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't got to trivia yet. I need to do trivia. We're 43 minutes into this. Is this tonight? Is today the last day of the month, or is there one more? I think there's one more. But trivia for the night. This one's going to be pretty easy. You're going to have to be fast on your Google hands, okay? Google fingers or whatever you call it. 2 more days left. So here we go. The first road game in the SEC for Oklahoma is Auburn. What was the final score the last time OU played Auburn? It's a simple question. Final score last time OU played Auburn. Gonna be fast on the Google. Correct. It was the bowl game. Okie Lawn, but I need the score, bud. Need the score. Purple Orca with the W tonight, 35-19. Let's hope they can win 35-19 this year at Auburn. That'd be a great win. 29 days in the month. Purple Orca gets it tonight. Good job, Purple. Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
One thing I will say while we have everyone on here is I'm going to be civilized here. It does kind of get exhausting. Just be honest with you. This is truth night from Jeremy. It's exhausting trying to foreshadow, predict what we think's going to happen next year. Can we just all take a deep breath, step back a little from our Dionne Warwick minds, and say, look, I love what BV is doing. I love what he's done. As far as culture-wise, I'm excited about the recruiting class that's in there already, early enrollees. Let's get after it. How about that, Jay? How about that?
I don't like this civilized guy just talked.
What?
But yeah, I don't like it. But
if you want me to go back to screaming, but at some point you got to stop foreshadowing and just see what's happening right there on campus. People are making gains and strides in the offseason. Okay?
here's what I'll say. I am ready for one thing from Brent Venables. I am ready for him to unleash I don't know if it's the becoming a head coach, and I think he did a little bit more last year, but I'm ready for him to unleash some energy all over the team. I know he does it, but I'm saying a different level. SEC ball, and I think you're going to listen. I think you'll see a different BV this year with Zach Alley there. I really do. I think Zach Alley's I think they're going to fit so well together than what they had with Roof. I really do.
I went to a Bible study, Bobby. Bible study. Hey, Jay, let me ask you this.
Cannot wait for that matchup, Gary. I cannot wait.
Post-game live, Jay. Post-game live is going to be unreal. Hey, let me just ask all the viewers one question. Simple question, Jay. Here's another calm thing here. It's one simple question, Surgeon Maniacs. Here it is. Is OU football trending up or down in your mind? I want it up or down. It's in my opinion,
it's up.
OU is trending up. The
Correct.
trajectory is on a crash course for the playoff. And when they get to the playoff, year in, year out, that's where OU belongs. And it's going to happen under BV. Case closed. Game, set, match. BV getting it done.
Been up since Lincoln Riley left. I would agree with that. Guys, look at OU. Look, where would OU be right now with Lincoln Riley? What do you think?
Crash course to. Okay, there's Eric saying.
Eric, wait a second. Let me take
on.
this. Jeremy, let me
He did
take
this last year.
Jeremy, let me take this one.
Last 2 years.
Riley made the playoffs his first. I mean, he had unbelievable. He got left such good talent under Bob Stoops.
Offensive talent was unreal.
Unbelievable. And you saw what happened when they made the playoff. They got,
They hung with Georgia.
well, Georgia, yeah. But
They put 50 on Georgia.
But that was, yeah, he had Caleb Williams. He didn't make the playoff. What's that tell you?
He was on
and Eric's right, though. Eric's right about it. Lincoln did make the playoff. That's true.
But the other guy was right when it said Riley was trending down.
And Eric, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to be on the Discord as much. I was working today. I didn't see all the numbers you put in there.
I can dispute it. Hey, I disputed it because if Riley would have been in the outside of Baker's year and Kyler's, if Riley would have been in the SEC, he wouldn't have made the playoff.
But would Riley have made the playoff the last 2 years?
Well, if Caleb Williams was there,
yeah.
OU would have made the playoff with BV if Caleb Williams was there.
Would Lincoln Riley have made the playoffs in the last 2 years?
Yeah, because BV would have made the playoffs.
So you're saying the only reason they didn't make the playoff the last 2 years was Dylan
You know my thoughts on DGJ.
So you're saying that if Dylan Gabriel was not the quarterback last 2 years, they would have made the playoff.
If Caleb Williams was,
Jeremy, I'm going to respectfully disagree.
we don't have time to do this.
And I'm going to disagree with it because, I don't think that's the reason they didn't make the playoff.
It's one of the reasons.
I don't think offense was that much of the problem.
Jason, ask yourself this and be honest. Jay.
What?
No, ask yourself this and be honest, Jay. Would Caleb Williams have found a way to beat Kansas and OSU? I just want you to ask yourself that. Would he have made a play? Would he have made a play and won the games?
He barely made a play to beat Kansas the first time around.
Okay, so you don't think Caleb would have made a play? Fine, I'll give you that.
I don't know. He probably would have.
He would have easily made a play on those two games.
He didn't. I mean,
the fact is, Monty said it. Riley ran with his head between his legs.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about Lincoln Riley. I don't like it.
I don't either.
Don't like the guy. And, I'll try to respond to the Discord stuff tonight. I was out of the loop. But Bobby said he agreed with what most Eric put in the Discord.
Hey, I got to – just a second.
Hey, real quick, Mark, I agree with you there. I do.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Hey, Jay, I got to go to Hunter on this because we know Hunter's a DG lover, loves DG. But listen, Hunter, the OSU game, Riley was gone, okay? The fact of the matter is Caleb Williams almost screwed the whole thing by bringing OU back on that last. He near well about brought him back, and then what? They would have went to the Big 12 title game, maybe a playoff. What would have happened then? By the way, there was interference that game too. OU would have won that game. Caleb Williams did bring him back against OSU if you watch that game. Did you watch the game, Hunter? Caleb Williams brought them back against OSU on the last drive.
Well said, Bobby. Well said.
Absolutely. DG was the right quarterback at the right time. I agree because Caleb was gone. Yes, absolutely. Everyone on here in the bowl game against Oregon, Jay, was begging for Caleb Williams to come back.
And we all know what your –
Do you remember the bowl game he played?
You think Jackson Arnold would have made the playoff last year if he was a quarterback, right?
I did say that. Yeah, I'd said that.
So we know your thoughts on that.
Jay, do you guys remember the bowl game against Oregon? Everyone loved Caleb Williams. Thought he was going to come back.
And?
He played a heck of a bowl game under Bob Stoops. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know why people
player.
all of a sudden saying, oh, Caleb's not it. Caleb Williams was really, really good. Anyway, that's for another night. I love this channel.
Hey,
I
what's
absolutely
going on with
love this
Oklahoma
channel.
City?
And I love these people who get on here every night, Jay.
What's going on with Oklahoma City? Why did somebody comment about what about Oklahoma City? Are they losing?
I have no idea who they playing.
Houston in Oklahoma City? Surely they're not losing to Houston.
They're up 4. All right. I'm going to agree with Iowa Sooner. I haven't talked to you in a while, Iowa Sooner. Bam. That's it. Great thing to end it on. Venables is building a team. Riley's was deteriorating.
Hey,
destroyed.
You know what happens when
That's
you build
it, Iowa Sooner.
Hey, you know what happens when you build your house on sand or not, right? Firm foundation here. Let's go, OU. Brett Venables. He's got the foundation.
But I like that, Jay. Firm foundation.
Listen, he's got a firm foundation, but now you got to take the next step. I think that's what everybody's waiting on. Is what
build your house. Hey, I'm going to say this because I can, because it build your house on a firm foundation. Monty, thanks for the prayer. Our foundation is the Lord, and we trust God's sovereignty. Appreciate you, Monty.
Hey, appreciate that, Monty. Hey, spring practice coming up, and what I am so pumped for spring practice so we can start talking about other stuff other than where we think this team's going to finish. I'm ready to talk about some other stuff. Hey, and Eric, listen, I'll be the first one to tell you, if OU goes 8-4 next year, I'm going to be very disappointed. And you know what I'll say is that's a bad year.
I will, Eric, and I'll give you kudos. But if OU's 9-3 or better, you need to be on here as well, and I know you will be. Mark, I'll reach out to you through the Discord. We'll figure something out. Hit the like button, everybody.
Yep, we'll be back on there tomorrow night. Spring game, April 20th. Hey, listen, we're gonna try to be at the spring game. Obviously, we need to have a get together there. It'd be cool if we did a little tailgating before the spring game. Get to meet some of you guys before the season, because once season ramps up, this channel going to get up and going. Okay, and because of y'all are part of it. Appreciate y'all every night being on here. It's fun to always talk. I mean, like I said the other night, we're in February 28th and we're talking football. Love it. So thank you guys. It's all because of you. Appreciate it. And Jeremy, Gonna head home now? Eat your bowl of cereal?
Got to run in Wally real quick, Wally World, and get a couple Lunchables for the
Fruity
boy.
Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles.
I'll get
Hey,
me some
next
Pebbles.
Tuesday night, I want to time you and see if you can get in and out of Walmart in 2 minutes or less.
All right, Jay.
Live on the air.
This is Civil Jeremy signing out. Boomer.